All right, Sunday, November 10th. Oof, it's still cold. Ice bath is cold. Oof. Oh, might take a second to get in today. All right, let's try it. Oh. That breath. So Sunday, November 10th, 2024. Just had a great lower session in. Oh man, it is chilly. And earlier today I shared a video about goal setting and, the people in our lives that help us, achieve our goals. And there's a million people that I could thank that have helped me get, where I am, right? My parents, I think anybody might share that first. But, I've talked about it before, and I talk about it in a book that I wrote that's going to be coming out soon. Well, it hits different. My parents, Anna and Joe, they, came to the States, from Italy, and, I never really had a conversation. They never really told my brother and I, sat us down and talked about like work ethic and, work hard to achieve your dreams and things. They showed us by doing just that and, never complaining and just taking care of my brother and I as best they could. And I think, he and I turned out okay. A couple of doctors, I think we did okay. But as far as like that goal setting piece, I've talked about this before. Everybody, I think, needs a light giver. Everybody needs somebody who's going to illuminate a path for them brighter than they can illuminate for themselves. And, minus, my parents, my brother, there are a lot of people that have helped me. And the last few months especially, one in particular person that really has helped, illuminate this path that I think would otherwise not have been illuminated, right? And I've joked, with her about it before that everybody needs an Aaron in their life. Everybody needs a light giver, someone like her that is going to be supportive and just always be there and be a positive guiding light. For me, in my case, it's most certainly, but in other people's cases also, right? Like maybe you don't have an Aaron, maybe you have a spouse or significant other or friend or just somebody who, regardless of what is happening around you, is always going to be there to, essentially support you 100%. And, just reflecting on life, I guess, and the people close to me, I'm not sure if everybody has that person. I don't know if everybody has that one guiding light. And, somebody asked me, well, how do you find that person? It would be easy for me to say, seek them out. But how do you know how to seek them out? How do you know who's going to be that light for you? And that's a good question. And I still am hard pressed to give a good answer because, let me see here, for like 6 months of my life, I thought, the walls were caving in. And when I least expected it, people, lights out, people presented themselves to me that were those light givers, right? And you can have multiple light givers and they come in all different, roles and elicit different responsibilities, I suppose. Seek somebody out. Seek out a mentor. Seek out somebody who has achieved what you want to achieve and ask them questions, right? I joke with Lewis about sliding into DMs, but really it is about sliding in the DMs and asking questions and trying to make yourself, I don't know if vulnerable is the right word, but really like reaching out to somebody and saying, hey, I've been following your journey, the path that you're on, and I want to get there, and I want to do what you're doing. How can I help you maybe get, to the next level, or whatever the conversation is, and make yourself available to them, perhaps without necessarily seeking, anything in return. And I just think it's just really interesting that, like the shepherd and the alchemist, I've been talking about it for a long time. There's people that come into our lives when we least expect it, and they come into our lives when we least expect it. And when we reflect, much like the shepherd does, that these people were brought into our lives for a purpose, for a reason, and maybe we don't know it at first, but we do, eventually, kind of. After reflecting, we do figure out why they were indeed brought into our lives.